Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for joining me today. Today I am participating in the February Card Hoppin event. If you're not familiar with that, it is a Facebook group where we do these like little challenges every month with a different theme and technique. And I totally just realized that I forgot to follow the theme. So the theme was Year You Were Born, but I did not follow that. I totally forgot about it. I was so involved with the technique, which was marbling. It's supposed to be marbling with water or shaving cream, but I accidentally put marbling with alcohol ink and shaving cream. At any rate, I had some issues with this video, and so the first part of the video, when I first showed the technique, it was really super fuzzy, and so these are the cards that I made during that. I deleted it because it just wasn't very good quality, but these are the panels that I created then, and so I'm going to create a few more on screen. And basically all you need is a tray or a paper plate or whatever you're going to put the shaving cream in, and a can of shaving cream. I just bought the cheap Walmart shaving cream. You don't need a lot of this, so you just need to spray it down and then just take either a credit card or something with a straight side and kind of flatten that out a little bit. And then you can use all kind of other tools. Off to the side, I have some cake tools. I have some bubble wrap, whatever you want. I've never done this before, so I was really just experimenting a whole bunch. And so you're going to learn with me, I guess. For the first one, I used some distress spray inks. I used speckled egg, salvage patina, and then some prize ribbon. I really love the way that looks, and you can take it's almost like gel prints, I guess, just taking a print off of the shaving cream. And then I'm going to add a little bit of gold, liquid gold acrylic ink, and I do add this to a bunch of the panels. I think it looks really super cool, especially when you're doing the marbling, to get that little strip of gold in there. And then I'm going to I just have like a little filing tool or something like that. You can take toothpicks, whatever you have to make the marbling. And for the marbling on this one, I am going to just make circular motions. In the previous panels that I created, you can kind of do like a back and forth, kind of like a winding road, like a back and forth motion. And then I'm going to take for this one the bubble wrap and just smush that in, and then I'll pick that up and turn that over and set that off to the side. I just wanted to see if I could get that impression of the circles from the bubble wrap into a card. Onto a card panel. And I'm using watercolor cardstock for all of these. And you're just going to take your card panel and just push it into the shaving cream. This is why it doesn't really need to be super thick. It just needs to be thick enough. It just needs to be thick enough to hold the color. And then I'm going to pull that up. And it doesn't really look like anything right now, but I have to tell you, it turns out so amazing. This is such a super fun technique. I am so happy that I experimented with this. It was just so fun. So then I'm going to take another panel and push that into the bubble wrap. And it does give the impression, almost looks like honeycombs in a way, of that bubble wrap. And then I'm just going to try and take a few more impressions of this so that I don't waste all of that. Then I'm going to clean my tray up. And this time I'm using some watercolor powder. These are actually Lindy's magical shakers, and this didn't work real well. I don't think the shaving cream was quite wet enough, so I did take a spray bottle and spray the shaving cream to kind of get the powders to activate a little bit more. This is really kind of subtle. It's not as bold or even, I guess, as the other mediums that I used, but I think it's still kind of a cool way to make some really easy backgrounds. And I didn't count how many backgrounds I made, but I made a whole bunch. So I have turned some of them into cards, which will be at the end of the video, and then the rest of them I'm going to save for future projects. And so I'm just going to keep repeating this, and then like I said, I had some issues with my video, and I had paused it and I forgot to go ahead and unpause it to show you how you get the shaving cream off, but I will definitely do that here in a short bit in the video so that you can see how that happens. It's just really cool that it's almost like the color stains the cardstock in the shape or the pattern that you pulled from that shaving cream. So this is the one with the Lindy's magical shakers right there. And just a few other designs. I'm sorry, my voice is really hoarse. And then for this, I tried some liquid watercolors. So I'm just going to use the little dropper and add some liquid watercolors in a rainbow pattern. And so I'm just following the Roy G. Biv pattern of the colors of the rainbow. And then I will swirl this one also. I think I kind of ruined this one I should have left it like this, and then I ended up kind of doing something else, just kind of messing around, but for future reference. And then if you're going to drag your tool back through, I would wipe it off. I had a lot of paper towels used in the making of this video, and then so I take the tool that I had and I made some more lines in this, which was a mistake, but I'm sure I can find something to use for this background. So I'm going to set those aside, and then I'm going to use a stencil. So I've got my watercolor cardstock down. I'm going to set a stencil on top of it, and then I'm just taking, this is a cake tool. I believe these are the same of those spreaders. I cannot recall what they're called. So I'm just going to try and get all of the rainbow and then pull that. And on this one, I should have stopped right here, but then I took it and I went back over it, and I think it kind of took away some of my lighter colors and made it so that there's a whole lot of blue and you can't really see a lot of the other of the rainbow. But that's really cool to be able to use a stencil. And then for this one, I swirl the tool that I'm using, and so this one I finally learned to wipe the tool off on my paper towel before dragging it back through. And then this creates a really pretty marble effect after I have pulled that shaving cream off, and you'll see that here in a minute. And it's best, I just set these aside for most of them, and then within 5 minutes wipe that shaving cream off. However, on the rainbow ones, I had to go inside and do something, and so they were probably sitting for 40 minutes, and it kind of dried up a little bit, so it's best to do it when it's wet. And that's the rainbow marble one. Hopefully you can see that gold kind of marbled in there. I think that looks super cool. And then these are the rest of the rainbow panels. And then I'm going to start over, and I'm using different shades of pink in the Ranger alcohol inks. And then I also use one of the Ranger pearls, I think they're called, the ones with the sparkle in them. And then I also added a little bit of that gold Liquitex acrylic paint, the liquid paint. And I'm going to do the swirls again on this. This is probably one of my favorites. I really love how this turned out. And I'm going to make a couple of pulls, but I'm just going to show the first one because it's basically the same. Some different things you can try is lifting it straight up. I know when I use the tweezers to pull that up, it kind of slides a little bit. But you can try lifting straight up. There's kind of like a little bit of a suction there. And then I tried this string thing, and I've seen people do this with ink. I just did not get it done very well. And I don't know if it's because the liquid or the shaving cream is so light. It wasn't heavy enough to really make that really beautiful pattern. I think it made a cool pattern. I kept trying to wipe that across my card. But like I said, it's all about experimenting and having fun. And I have to say, this was a little messy, but so easy to clean up. And it was so much fun to do this. I just absolutely loved this process. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off this first one. So I'm just going to drag my tool down the card to get all that shaving cream off. And hopefully you can see, I just think it looks really beautiful with those little gold swirls in there. And then this is the one with the shaving cream off of it that I did with the string, and then another panel that I did with the shaving cream. And then I had that left over on my plate, and so what I did was I took the other end of this cake tool where it has this decorative kind of border on it, and I just dragged that down. I didn't end up making a card with this, but I think that pattern looks super cool, and I didn't want to waste all that. There is a lot of waste in this project, I have to say, but like I said, it was so fun. And then here are all the panels that were created. I didn't count them, but there's a bunch. And so in a minute, I'm going to show you still shots of the cards that I created using some of these backgrounds. And I didn't show the process for that just because the video is already fairly long, and I did not want to make it any longer, especially since this is a hop video. And I wanted to remind you as well that the next person in the hop will be listed below, so I hope you check that out. And again, there will be links to the Facebook group if you're interested in joining on our hops and participating. You don't have to have YouTube. You could have a blog or just post on Instagram, or you could do YouTube. So there are options there, but we would love to have you. We have a lot of fun, and it is really fun to kind of do some different things every month to challenge yourself and kind of step out of your comfort zone and to learn new things. It's just been a blast. We did it last year, and we're going to continue this year as well. But here are the completed cards. As always, I thank you so much. This was a little bit of a long video for my channel, but I hope you stuck around, and I hope you enjoyed this fun technique. And I look forward to checking out all of the other videos on the hop, and I hope you do as well. If you liked this video or found it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me, and I hope to see you next time.